Hey guys, welcome back. We are picking back up with DC's Night Terrors event, where DC's new villain Insomnia is looking through the minds of every character in the world in search of the Dreamstone. He now has about 99% of the world asleep into their nightmares, which for me begs the question, what scares the almighty Batman? And how does he deal with that? So let's dive right in. But first, take your time watching this video. If you enjoy it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. So for a long time, Batman's villains try to get into his mind through various means like the Joker using mind games, Scarecrow with his concoctions, Poison Ivy, Dr. Hugo Strange and the others try to use his inner instincts or thoughts to control him to no avail, because years ago Batman had studied how to isolate his fears in the caves of Nanda Parbat, and with him knowing his fears, he feels that it's not enough because he knows that one day someone might be able to break into his mind, which means he has to prepare himself for that occasion. He has to face his fears. Alfred doubts how effective this will be. In fact, he thinks this might even affect Batman, but Dude was like, yo, just pull me out in 24 hours. And with his VR headset, he entered into the moment Joe Chill killed his parents in Crime Alley, living through it again and again and again until Alfred pulled him out. And Batman was angry because he had told Alfred to pull him out only after 24 hours, to which Alfred responds, that was 24 hours, sir, and then asks Batman, was it worth it? But for Batman, no matter how many times he witnesses Joe Chill kill his parents, he will never be over it. Nothing will ever take away the pain he suffered in Crime Alley except for the end of his mission in Gotham. He still does this exercise nonetheless because he knows it might come in handy someday, which is now, with Batman being put to sleep into his worst nightmare, with him being young Bruce in Crime Alley yet again. But then, he heard a voice call out to him, son, is that you? Bruce, my boy, it's been so long, I missed you, so come and join your mother and I. But with Bruce's training, he figured that this is bullshit and that this is not really his father and none of this is real. With him training his mind for this moment, he could already tell that this is really not his father. He could even remember his last moment before he went to sleep, with him being in Arkham Tower when this mysterious being killed John Dee and possessed John Dee's body and knocked Batman out into his nightmare. And keep in mind, he doesn't know who is messing with him, so he called out whoever is behind this, like, man, quit playing, you ain't fooling me, and then perceived or tried to forcefully and willfully wake himself up, but he couldn't because something is blocking him. Something or someone which we will find out in a second. While here, he felt some rumbly sound. He turned and it was a giant version of his mother's spells tumbling down towards him, so he jumped out the way into another alley where he stood up and it was the Monarch Theatre. And again, little Bruce was not impressed as he tells this mysterious guy who really is Insomnia that, meh, this is a cliche for him because he's faced so many villains who tried to use his last happy moments with his parents against him and failed. So maybe whoever is doing this should rethink this, which is when I think Insomnia chickened out because for this moment, with Bruce telling him that this is not gonna work, I believe he changed it to showing Bruce that Deadman disobeyed his orders that he shouldn't ever possess his body, which angered Bruce because he can't willfully wake himself up because Deadman is at the wheel. He tried to reach out to the screen showing him all this, trying to warn Deadman to vacate his body so he can wake himself up because he's Batman. But the screen morphed, grabbed and sucked him in, transporting him to his parents' home, to their headstone. But then again, Bruce isn't impressed with Insomnia using his parents' death to break him because that's what he does to himself occasionally, which makes this all the more familiar than haunting. I mean, what happens to jokes when you listen to it a millionth time? stopped being funny, same as scary thing. They also stopped being scary. If anything, you can even predict those jump scares. But then again, he took it up the notch by showing Bruce Alfred's headstone, the Graysons, Jason Todd's, Tim Drake's, Damian Wayne, and even Jim Gordon's. Basically, there's a headstone for almost every close relation of Bruce. But it turns out Bruce is a psychopath because with seeing all this, he was still like, man, show me anybody, I don't care. This you are doing is like a clown show, so at this point, you might as well show yourself, which he did like the clown he is. He showed up in the original Robin suit with the owl logo being I for clown, insomnia, I for insomnia. But then he told little Bruce that he's not doing anything, and it's rather little Bruce controlling the Thor of his nightmare. Basically, he's telling Bruce that Bruce is the one trying to scare himself.
What?
And that him, Insomnia, is just tagging along for the ride. He then goes on to tell little Bruce that he's a big fan of Batman. He grew up in Gotham City, lived there his whole traumatic life, and for Gotham, they had the Batman as their very own superhero, which for him was great, which is why he wants to be Batman's sidekick. But all Bruce must do is help him find the Nightmare Stone, because it's been hidden in one of them superheroes' nightmare, and if he helps him find it, this nightmare will be over. But Bruce looked at him like he was a clown. But I'm sure Batman doesn't recruit or hire traumatized grown-ass men. I guess he wants traumatized kids instead. And this is the first time Bruce is seeing this guy, so he was like, you was the one playing these damn jokes on me? I mean, he didn't say it like that, but more or less like, are you the one messing with me? What are you? And he responded telling Bruce that he is the boogeyman, his worst nightmare, but Bruce can call him Insomnia. Then the grounds begin to open up and all the dead begin to raise up against little Bruce. But even in this miniature size, muscle memory kicked in as he goes on to beat his own fears literally, with most of them catching the sole of his boots. And after dealing with his fears physically, Catwoman appeared out of nowhere and tells little Bruce to give up and give in to Insomnia, and then we can try this again, with Bruce looking like, is this cushy worth the stone? Of which Insomnia took the chance to tell little Bruce to listen to cats, because he knows Bruce wouldn't want cats to leave him again, which is what he thinks Bruce fears, the happiness. But Bruce was like, man, I'm not afraid of happiness, and I'm not afraid of you either. He then goes on to tell Insomnia that this is Joker's line of work. I face Joker and you are not. But before he could finish his sentence, his throat started bubbling up. It swelled pretty quickly, and then Bruce proceeded to painfully vomit out these giant bats, kinda like an actual Batman with a Glock as a head, and not like a grown man who dresses like a bat and calls himself Batman. So then, when Bruce became Batman, he turned himself into a creature of the night. He transformed himself into a symbol of nightmare, and now that nightmare has taken on a mind of its own, and it's now shooting at little Bruce. But there's so much his little Bruce legs could take him, maybe beating up his parents' corpse, but not really a good advantage for outrunning bullets. And so he got caught with a bullet into his chest. So Insomnia asked him, how does it feel to have your own darkness turned against you, Brucey? He called him Brucey. But instead, Bruce thanked him because he actually felt that, and it freed him from making him realize that he must go deeper into his nightmares, into his mind, to regain control of his mind from Deadman, as he transformed himself into his true Batman form, the Batman. He then promises Insomnia that after he's done dealing with his deeper fears, he will be back for him. But Insomnia thinks Batman is making a mistake because for him, it's Batman building this nightmare, not him. And Batman has lived in the dark, and with his genius level intellect mind, he has thought of some of the worst scenarios known to man. So if he goes deeper into his own nightmare, there's no telling what he might find with that mind of his. He might actually even break himself doing that. But then Bruce made his way into this place, about to head into what nightmares his mind offers. And then a flashlight shined on him. He opened his eyes and he was Joe Chill, standing right across little Bruce and his parents, with his gun pointed at them. He tries to fight it, but he couldn't, as the gun goes off right in his own hand, leaving Bruce having to figure out how to deal with that, having killed his parents as Joe Chill with his own hands. And so here we are again. If you indeed like this video, hit the like button and then subscribe to the channel for the next issue. And this is something I keep saying, if someone can break Bruce, it would be Bruce. But then let me know your thoughts on this one, and I'll see you again in the next one. Like and subscribe to this channel because I'm dope and I do dope stuffs. Et voila.